There is a text so ancient that its origins are lost in the mists of time. A single piece of emerald that supposedly contains the secrets of the universe.
The emerald tablet of Hermes Trismegistus is very real.
But what most don't know is that this text isn't a dead relic. It's a living code, an operating system for reality. In this video, we will journey from a lost civilization to the secret mind of Isaac Newton to trace the origin of this knowledge. We will decode the 7 forgotten rules it contains, and by the end, you will understand why the universe is not what it seems and how your own thoughts are the most powerful tool of creation in existence. Prepare yourself. The decoding of reality begins now. To understand the rules that govern your reality, you must first understand their origin. This journey does not begin in a library or a laboratory. It begins in a time before history was written, on a continent shrouded in legend. The lineage of this knowledge is traced back to a single monumental figure, known to the Egyptians as Thoth, the god of infinite wisdom. But the initiates of the ancient world knew he was more than a god. He was a messenger, a teacher who, it was said, came from the lost civilization of Atlantis, carrying with him the fundamental principles of creation itself. He inscribed this cosmic blueprint onto a single, incorruptible tablet of emerald, not as a history, but as an eternal instruction manual for reality. As empires rose and fell, as languages were born and died, as vast libraries turned to ash, the flame of this knowledge was not extinguished. It was protected, passed down in secret from master to apprentice. From the sands of Egypt, this sacred text traveled, finding its way into the hands of Arab mystics and alchemists during a golden age of discovery. They understood it not as myth, but as a divine science. They studied its cryptic verses, recognizing that it held the key not just to transmuting metals, but to transmuting the very soul of man. Centuries later, this secret fire resurfaced in Europe, igniting the minds of the Renaissance and fueling the esoteric traditions of secret societies. From the Rosicrucians to the Freemasons, philosophers, kings, and mystics became obsessed with decoding its power. But its most devoted and perhaps most surprising student was a man who would later define our modern understanding of the physical universe, Sir Isaac Newton. The father of modern physics, the man who calculated the mechanics of the cosmos, spent the final decades of his life not in a laboratory of physics but in a laboratory of alchemy. He secretly translated the Emerald Tablet, believing with absolute certainty that it contained a deeper, more fundamental set of laws than his own. He understood that the laws of the universe were not just physical, they were spiritual. He knew that this ancient text held the source code. So why have we walked this path through history? Why trace this thread from Atlantis to Egypt, from Arabia to the mind of Isaac Newton? To show you that this is not a forgotten piece of folklore, it is a current of power, a lineage of wisdom so profound that the greatest minds in history risked everything to protect and understand it. Now we shift from the story of the tablet to the wisdom within it. This is where the journey turns inward. These are not historical facts to be memorized. They are living principles operating within and around you at this very moment. Let us decode the 7 core principles of this ancient philosophy, a timeless wisdom so powerful it was later codified into what is known as the 7 forgotten rules of reality. Rule 1. The principle of mentalism. The tablet states, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." This is the foundational key. It doesn't just mean your thoughts create your reality. It means reality is thought. The universe you perceive, the stars, the earth, your own body, is not a dead machine. It is the product of a single, infinite living consciousness. And the most profound part, you are not separate from this mind. You are a focal point within it. This means your thoughts are not passive events. They are active transmissions into the very fabric of creation. Rule 2. The principle of correspondence. You know this rule by its most famous verse, "As above, so below, as below, so above." This is the secret of the mirror. It reveals that the patterns of the cosmos are perfectly reflected in the smallest aspects of your existence. Your outer world of circumstance is a direct mirror of your inner world of being. To change what you see in the mirror, you don't try to change the reflection. You must change yourself. Rule 3. The principle of vibration. The text teaches, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Nothing is truly solid, everything is simply energy vibrating at different frequencies. And this is where your power truly awakens. Your emotions are your vibrational signature, the frequency you broadcast. The universe does not respond to your words or your wishes, it responds to your dominant vibration. It doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are vibrationally. Rule 4, the principle of polarity. The fourth rule states, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Hot and cold, light and dark. At first they seem like separate forces, but this principle reveals they are not. They are two extremes of the same thing, differing only in degree. This rule hands you the power of transmutation. You are never stuck in a negative state. By consciously raising your vibration, you can mentally travel along the scale from fear to love. You can choose where on that scale you wish to exist. Rule 5, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. This is the rule of the cosmic pendulum. It governs the cycles of life. The tide comes in and the tide goes out. Your life is not a straight line. There will be periods of expansion and periods of contraction. This rule teaches you not to resist the swing of the pendulum, but to master it, to maintain your center, your state of being, regardless of which direction the outer world is swinging. Rule 6, the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. This is the law that banishes luck and chance from the universe. Nothing just happens. Every circumstance in your life is an effect that can be traced back to a cause. This rule invites you to move from being a pawn of effects to becoming a conscious cause, to understand that you are not the recipient of your reality, you are the source of it. Rule 7, the principle of gender. Finally, the tablet reveals, gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This has nothing to do with physical gender. It refers to the two universal energies required for all creation. The masculine principle is the projective, active energy, the will, the seed. The feminine principle is the receptive, nurturing energy, the womb, the fertile ground. True creation happens when you learn to plant the seed of your intention with masculine focus and then allow it to gestate and grow with feminine trust and receptivity. Take a deep breath for a moment and feel the weight of these laws. They are not distant theories, they are the unseen gears of your universe. These 7 principles written down thousands of years ago may sound like mystical philosophy, but here is where the past and the present collide. This is not just ancient wisdom, it is modern science, described in the language of the sacred. Consider the principle of mentalism. Today, quantum physics is grappling with the observer effect, the shocking discovery that the very act of observation changes the nature of reality. Scientists now theorize that the universe may be fundamentally informational, a conscious system, just as the ancient text declared. Think of the principle of vibration. We now know that everything in the universe is made of quantum fields, vibrating at specific frequencies. Your thoughts and emotions produce measurable changes in your brainwaves. The science of epigenetics reveals that your beliefs, your vibration can literally switch genes on and off. You are quite literally a transmitter and a receiver, constantly interacting with a sea of energy. This is the ultimate revelation. The Emerald Tablet is not a collection of superstitious beliefs. It is a highly sophisticated map of reality. It is a quantum physics textbook written by masters who understood the mechanics of the universe on a level we are only just beginning to rediscover. They understood that you are not a passive observer in a mechanical world. You are a conscious creator in a living, responsive and mental universe. We have traced this knowledge from Atlantis to the mind of Isaac Newton. We have decoded its 7 universal rules. We have seen its reflection in the science of today. So now, the final question is not, is this real? The final question is, what will you do with it? This knowledge is not meant to be simply known, it is meant to be lived. It is an invitation to shift from being a creature of circumstance to becoming a creator of your reality. So here is your first act of creation. For the next 24 hours, choose just one of these 7 rules to observe in your own life. Do not try to change anything, simply observe. Become aware of the invisible laws operating all around you. This is the first step to mastery. To anchor this understanding not just in your mind, but in this shared space, I invite you to make a simple, powerful declaration. In the comments below, type the words, as above. This is more than a comment, it is a code. It is a signal to yourself and to this entire community that you recognize the sacred mirror between your inner world and your outer universe. Let it be your first act of conscious correspondence. This journey of decoding ancient wisdom is the very purpose of this channel. If you feel called to walk this path, to continue unlocking the secrets of the universe and your own power within it, then subscribe and activate the notification bell. Let this not be the end of a video, but the beginning of your conscious creation. The knowledge has been passed to you. The key is now in your hands.